Let's talk a little AEW Dynamite from last night. 16 days away now from All In. Didn't think it was a particularly strong show, but it wasn't bad. It had its ups, it had its downs, and let's get into that right now here on our Top Rope Podcast Dynamite review. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. Match of the night, I'm going that opening contest between MJF and Kyle Fletcher. I thought it was outstanding, in the running for match of the week as well. Going to start releasing those every Monday, so be sure to subscribe for that. Set that bell, baby. Just a great back and forth, lots of great moves, excellent job of selling by both men. I believe it was before the match, yes, that MJF match starts. Normally I'm against, once the match starts, don't think we should be hearing anybody on the mic unless it's an I quit match. But I actually liked MJF being on the microphone once the match started, just to make sure. I mean, he's wearing American gear now. He's got afterwards, I think he came out to his regular music, but afterwards he's got the generic United States, whatever, patriotic type music. So, I mean, wearing all that gear, it's like, we should be cheering for him, right? Like, I'm involved in a local wrestling company in my area, and, I was telling our owner, like, hey, one of the heels is wearing American flag-looking tights, and like, I don't know if he should do that, because to me, that's going to be a little bit confusing. Does he got any other tights? Like, if you come out in that, like, people are going to want to cheer for you. Well, I think they've done a really good job of dodging this with MJF, because I think they're doing it with his gear, and I'll get back to what I was going to say here in a minute with what I was talking about, but with his gear and everything, I really think that this whole American Championship was created just to set up this match at All In. It really make everybody hate MJF, because they're going to be overseas, Will Ospreay's home country at Wembley, so crowd, I mean, they're gonna love Will Ospreay there anyways, but they're gonna hate MJF that much more wearing all the American gear. But it's like, wow, until we get there, it's like, man, you run the risk of MJF getting cheered, but doing what they did on the microphone, just small stuff right before, making sure that he gets that crowd hating him, making sure they're going to boo him. We did hear some MJF chants a little bit. We heard on the dueling chant with the, I think they were saying Ozzy, 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 oi, 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 but they were saying MJF, oi, 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 or something like that. But there were some dueling chants, but afterwards, mostly boos. Just a great back and forth, like I said, with between these guys. And I thought MJF went over, Kyle Fletcher got over, though, buddy. Holy cow. Just upon his entrance. I don't know if his hair is different. What was different about him? The way he looked on his face, his gear, everything about him on the way to the ring was screaming star. He looked like a star, and he proved it in the ring tonight. He's on the up and come in my book, and I love the finish in this match. A callback to Will Ospreay not using the screwdriver. Neither would Kyle Fletcher. Is the Don Callis family falling apart? Might Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher be future tag team champions? We shall see. It's possible. They just want to keep pushing Will as a single star, and Kyle Fletcher, he keeps having matches like that and with his persona and everything. And I believe it was the week before, he was doing some pretty solid mic work. Watch out for Kyle Fletcher possibly being, they got 1 million belts, so he could win one of them, right? And I think with this American Championship too, and Will Ospreay picking up what was the belt before, the International Championship, after MJF tossed it in the trash. Could it be possibly because AEW, as far as I know, they've been trying to work out a contract to stay on TNT TBS. Thought it was going well from all indications, but maybe it's not. And maybe we see that on the women's side, TBS Championship go away, and on the men's side, the TNT Championship go away. And would this American Championship replace it? And you keep the International Championship as well. Whoever comes out of Wembley, I assume it's going to be Will Ospreay. I don't know. whoever comes out of Wembley winning both of those titles could then defend them both of those titles, and maybe they go lose one in another promotion, or whatever. And then, so then you have your international champion and your American champion. It's kind of like your Intercontinental champion, WWE, and then United States champion, American championship. Yeah. I know we still got the Continental belt and God knows what other belts we got going on, but just a specific AEW belts, I don't know. I could be grasping at straws here. I'm just thinking outside the box. Is that why? Is that why they created this American Championship? But match of the night for sure for that opening contest, giving it a solid A. I don't know if I'll get quite to everything. I think I'm going to cover most things here. Mariah May against Viva Van, I believe it was. That's fine. The match was okay. But then, then we see Camille later on with a 2-on-1. We're not allowed to call it handicap matches anymore. I don't know. Sorry if that's not PC. To me, it's still a 2-on-1 handicap match, but they were just calling it a 2-on-1 match. But I just don't think, I know technically Mariah May Viva Van wasn't exactly a squash because we got a picture-in-picture, but it was with a wrestler in there that I had not heard of. And I've heard of a lot of these wrestlers, but I think she had wrestled on Dark or something like that, and the other two girls in Camille's match were probably just local wrestlers. But I don't need to see more than one match, glorified squash, whatever. I don't need to see more than, it's got room. We got room for one of those on the card. Again, with someone going against someone I've never heard of. We got room for one. We don't need any more than one. So Mariah May gets the win. Then she's handed the photo of her and Toni Storm. She's like, oh, kind of taken back by it. But then she doesn't realize what's on the other side with the die, Mariah, die chants. Forget who it was back in the day, held that up, and had that as a sign. In WWE, I think we've seen people have that as signs and they blacked it out. That just shows you how, WWE, a little more family friendly, I guess. AEW, not so much a lot of the time. We'll see if WWE moves away from that once they go to Netflix, but that's a whole nother story. But I thought that was creative with the sign, her realizing it. Another attack by Toni Storm was good. I don't know about Toni Storm rolling around in the ring though. If she's going to be, it was right before they cut to a commercial or a backstage or something. I believe it was a commercial, but Toni Storm then after the segment, as the segment's wrapping up, she's doing her old stuff and rolling around in the ring. It's like, okay, I thought you were pissed off here. What are you doing rolling around in the ring? I don't know. She should still just be fueling mad. She should be going crazy. Still timeless Toni Storm, but just in the crazy, losing her shit type manner, I think is what we should keep seeing out of Toni Storm. That was just a little bit of a disconnect, but not a big deal. I would like to see him mix it up, though. Do something different over the next 2-3 weeks, however long, 14, 15 days now, I believe. Like I said, till All In. Mix it up. Mix it up a little bit. I don't know. Do we get maybe, I don't know. I don't think you want to have them both doing a sit-down interview because of their hatred for one another. It would probably go awry real quick and just wouldn't make much sense. Because you want to try to keep them apart. Maybe you do the split screen deal and then maybe have one go find the other. That hasn't been done in a little while, I don't believe. So they could do something like that. Or, you know what? Give me Toni Storm. Give me Toni Storm in the ring giving a promo. Have her calling out Mariah May, and maybe May doesn't show up, or maybe we see May come from behind on Toni Storm. But I'd love to hear more from Toni Storm in all of this, in their really, really heated rivalry, and one of the matches I'm extremely excited about for All In. I thought after tonight, I'm going to get to what happened with Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker coming up, but I thought what they did with them two wasn't that great. What they did with Mariah May, Toni Storm was great, and those matches had kind of been even as far as my excitement levels for them. Well, now I'm definitely more excited at this point in time for Mariah May and Toni Storm. Camille looked good in her handicap match, but I don't think she looked quite as good as her debut or her first match. And man, I was disappointed in Mercedes Moné's promo afterwards, and Britt being on the video board. It just didn't do much for me, or the crowd for that matter. It didn't seem like they were very interested in it. I don't know. It wasn't like it was horrible, but Brian Keith, Shibata, decent little match. Shibata gets the win. The biggest takeaway for me out of this match was I liked Brian Keith's new logo with the apple skull. Thought that was pretty cool. Don't forget to hit like, follow, subscribe, guys, as we continue on talking about Dynamite. The trios match was excellent. I love Mortis. It used to be called Tarus, Black Tarus, or something like that. I'm not sure why they changed his name, but they did. Regardless, I really like him. I know he'll probably be nothing ever more than a mid-carder, but he's a bigger guy. Can do lots of stuff. I like his look. I just like his overall presentation. I don't know. I'm into him. Good guys get the win in that one with Orange Cassidy and FTR picking up the victory. And maybe I'm missing something here, but I don't know why. Why are the Acclaim going after FTR? I don't know. It's kind of odd to me. Like, we're trying to heat the Acclaim back up, make them viable contenders against your heel tag team champions and the Elite and the Young Bucks. But the Acclaim's going after FTR. FTR is still babyface too. I don't know. AEW doesn't seem to care about heels and faces, though, a lot of the time, so maybe that's why. Good to see Hook back, though. We'll see if Samoa Joe comes back soon as well. The main event, if I missed anything else, I apologize. I'm going to move on to the main event now. It was okay, I suppose, but to me, an anything goes match should be built on two wrestlers absolutely hating each other's guts. And these two guys respect each other. We see them do a handshake and hug, getting their hands raised by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who we could barely hear on commentary during the match. I don't know. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And the match was all right. Like I said, fighting in the back and the big crowd gathered around was okay. Eventually, they got back to the ring. Obviously, Bryan Danielson's going to win. But, oh, it's a warm-up match. It's a test match. Well, we're going to have a warm-up match, be a hardcore match. It's like, I don't know. And then Swerve Strickland coming out afterwards to do a promo. Dude, we already heard you give a one-on-one with JR earlier. And I have to say, that wasn't very good. And his promo afterwards, I didn't think it was much better. I just, I don't know, just seems like a really odd pick for them to have Bryan Danielson be going up against Swerve Strickland. We saw Hangman Page, a little short promo with him, wanting to get revenge on Strickland. Like, I thought Hangman was going to get the win and the Owen to set this all up. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess it makes sense. And Bryan Danielson, you know, one last ride, trying to get that AEW championship. He promised he would win that. But another one of those situations where we got a face, I think. I mean, everybody's cheering for Bryan Danielson, even though the Blackpool Combat Club has been presented as heels a lot of the times. But he seems like a face. Crowd loves him. Swerve Strickland, crowd has been loving him, but man, some of the things he says, he's coming to the ring. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, you're sounding like a heel again. Watch out. Watch out. Everybody's not going to love you. You keep doing these things. It's like, that's the risk you run when you got two faces going up against each other, is you run the risk of the crowd picking one and not the other and then booing them. And it's like, all right, well, maybe you should have just turned them into a damn heel before you started the program together. I don't know. But Strickland's promo again afterwards, not anything special. And man, God bless, the one-on-one with JR earlier. Oh, that was, I felt bad for JR. God bless JR, everything he's done for this business. But man, he didn't sound or look very good. I hope he gets better. I hope he can be a little more crisp and smooth. He's getting old, man. It happens to all of us. I guess a lot of us. But, at least that's the way it's supposed to go anyways. But God bless JR. But I don't know, just he was kind of stepping on Swerve Strickland, and some of his questions just came off just a little bit And Swerve, actually Swerve did a nice job in kind of working around that. But I don't know, it didn't get me anything they did tonight with Swerve or Bryan Danielson did not get me any more excited for their matchup at All In. And yeah, I mentioned Hangman Page. Promo of the night, oddly enough, I'm going to go with that short Hangman Page backstage promo. Overall, it was an all right show. I really loved that first 20, 30 minutes with MJF and Kyle Fletcher, and again, the stuff they did with Mariah May and Tony Storm. And so, I don't know, all right show. I'm going to give it 8.1. We're going to go B-, and that's my thoughts for Dynamite last night. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe to continue to try to grow the channel. Would greatly appreciate it. We'll continue to try to do these weekly show reviews on most of the shows when I can. I'm a busy man. But we're definitely going to do a lot of the 1 minute, 60-second wrap-ups and try to do a lot of those. But every Monday now, I plan on doing my match of the week. We'll call it best match, best mic work, and best moment of the week. We'll break down my top 10 men's, women's, tag teams, factions every week as well here on the Top Rope Podcast. God bless.